Yes, I want to welcome everybody to the show. It's your main man. They call me the Don of Sport Entertainment. No doubt about it, no messing around. I tell you, I'm signing on this note. It's signed on for Manchester United. No signing, no signing, no signing. It is what it is. First of all, I want to welcome everybody onto this show right now. It is what it is. It's all about Manchester United. It's all about Manchester United at the moment. I'm talking about why is Manchester United struggling in the transfer market? I don't know. It's very painful right now. Yes, it is what it is. Arsenal signing. About to sign Gabriel Jesus. Rafinha Deleme in the building. Oh my goodness. What about Manchester United? We are lobbying. Paparazzi everywhere over one player. Till now, no signing. I tell you, Cup for Life is right in the building. But first, I want to welcome everybody, all our viewers. You know what to do. Please subscribe to the channel. Let's do this straight up. Smash the likes. Smash it. Come on, let's subscribe. Let's do this. It is what it is. Welcome everybody. Okwe is also starting it by getting ready all the way from Nigeria. Oh my goodness. Irate all the way from New Jersey. He's getting ready. Professor Tuka in the building. Let's go into this. Kole also from Oshodi City. The baddest city in the whole wide world. I love that city. No doubt about it. Let's do it. First of all, I want to welcome everybody once again. Let's go into this straight up. Yes, that's what it is. It's all about what your opinion show. They call me the Don. No doubt about it. Let me do this straight up. Thank you all guys watching What's Your Opinion is the show. Right now, we are moving forward. Let me welcome into the building. Kunle, what's going on over there in Nigeria? Tell me something, Kunle.
Well, good evening, boss. It's been a very, very rainy day in Lagos today.
Wow.
It's really rained, and wow, everywhere is wet. And today being Friday, facing the weekend, it's going to be a long, long journey for those who are going back home because there's going to be a lot of traffic, a lot of water on the road, and it's not going to be a pleasurable experience getting home. But at least if you get home, you know that the weather is cool and you have the long weekend.
All right, thank you. Welcome, yes. Kunle. It's good to have you in the building. I'm going to bring in Professor Tukel. Tukel all the way from Lagos. What's going on, bro? Prof.
Hello, everybody.
What's going on, bro? It is what it is.
Everybody, Irate, Stop for Life. Everybody, welcome.
How's it going?
Here again. I just got back home to the news that Man City they're about to sign Calvin.
Can you imagine?
Hey. Which for me is almost as good as season over because these people keep going from strength to strength. Why did everybody else sit and watch them? So it's just a sad news for me.
Oh well. Let me bring in all the way from New Jersey. Don't mess around. I love him. It's my brother. Irate in the building. What's going on, bro?
Hey, the Don. Good evening, everyone. Hope we're all doing well. It's good to be back here again. Good to be here.
All right, you can see with question Irate. It's all about signing. Manchester United struggling, even to just sign one player from Championship. It's now going crazy. I'm going to come back to you, Irate. This is the topic. I'm going to bring in Okwe Adebari also from Lagos. My same brother as well, but from another mother. Okwe, what's going on there? Tell me something.
Don.
Hey.
I hear you. Thank you so much for having me on the show as always. I appreciate it.
All right, it is what
Shout
it
out
is.
to everyone in the building. Shout out to Prof. Tuku.
All right. Okay, I'm so happy Arsenal are doing something. Are you happy now?
No, 100%. No, 100%.
Well, you are signing now.
We're signing, but as we talk right now, we've still not signed that that proven Premier League quality that I'm talking about. That's what I told you. That's what I told you. I mean, so far so good. It's looking good, right? The lips of Arsenal fans have been watered, but as far as I'm concerned, I told you that I've been through many transfer windows with this club, and the transfer window period is my worst time as an Arsenal fan. I absolutely hate it. I actually wish I could stay away from social media during this. But it is what it is, as you say, and I'm looking forward to the end results. They should sign me those players. Sign Tielemans, sign Gabriel Jesus, sign Lisandro Martinez from Ajax, sign Rafinha from Leeds United. Then we'll talk. Then we'll know if I'm happy or not.
All right, thank you. Welcome once again, Ope Adebari, all the way from Lagos. I'm going to bring the main man. I'm talking about Cup for Life. What's going on, bro? What's going on? Tell me something. All the way from Houston, Texas. Tell me something. What is going on to Manchester United? I'm coming to that question. Cup for Life, you're welcome. What's going on, bro?
Hey, good to see you, and great to be on the show as always. Excited to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about it without bias, because a lot of people think I'm going to be biased being a Liverpool fan, but I'm going to be fair and I'm going to be honest, and let's do the show.
All right, thank you once again. Now, let me quickly remind our viewers, wherever you're watching from, please subscribe to the channel. We are going up, we're growing. So many things has to be done. We need your support, one way or the other. We need your subscription. Drop your comment. We're going to read it. So super chat is there. Please, let's do this. Let's go into this straight. I said it. We are looking at Manchester United today, guys. It's looking like it's looking like something is not right now. Something has to be said. I heard today that dividends are taken off from Manchester United. 11 million pounds or dollars or something. It's out, and this guy keeps taking money out. I'm going to start with you. Why are we struggling? Why is Manchester United struggling so far in the market? I'm going to start with you. Okay. Kunle, as a Manchester United fan, you have to tell us why are we struggling? Kunle, go for it, please.
I had. Where do I want to start with Manchester United? Honestly, it's. I can understand that everyone is being frustrated, and I'm sure you all heard about the news where recently they said that there were some fans who went to the CEO's house. That was Richard Arnold. They were in front of his gate, and he came to meet them, and he took them out to a pub. And right there, I would say he said things that were obvious, although some people feel that maybe some of the things he said wasn't right, like where he said that the club wasted £1 billion on transfers in the last decade, and which is more than any other club in the Premier League, or probably even in Europe. And it kind of infused fans that where is the club heading to, and the truth is, I think those at the top are not really getting themselves, and because of that, it becomes difficult for decisions to be made. Now, one thing is this, though: the club is very much aware that they have wasted money on transfers in the past, right? So this time around, they have to be making cautious approaches, because this is a club that signed players like Henrik Mkhitaryan, signed Paul Pogba, who ended up going for free, signed him for almost £100 million. So this time around, they can't just throw money around. Getting just about, they got players like Morgan Schneiderlin, Matteo Darmian, players who all left, who didn't make the desired impact that they were brought in to do. So I think because of that, it actually puts the club in a much more difficult position, because people are just saying sign. Okay, but what if you sign and it's not the player that has the desired impact? Jadon Sancho was signed last season, but it wasn't up to the expectation. I know there is need to sign, but the thing is, the more Manchester United signs a player, it's like those expectations that we, fans want from that player isn't met, and it becomes more problematic. So I feel it is going to be much more difficult. You could say that, okay, look at it now, and then let's not forget that there's the issue of pricing of the players. You see how maybe because they feel a club feels Manchester United wants to sign this player, they feel they can milk the club. Or Manchester United seem to be, let me say, don't want such to happen where they will just throw money. You can see it seems the deal with Frankie de Jong seems to be dragging. I mean, if Manchester City wanted Frankie de Jong, I'm telling you, if Manchester City put 45 million on the table, he would go. But when it comes to Manchester United, putting 45 million for Frankie de Jong becomes a problem. They will tell you it has to be 90 million and all. And, so these are just some of the things that are making it all complex and complicated, for the club and for the manager as well. Preseason is almost here. I think preseason is going to open. The preseason camp is going to open on the 27th of June. So players will probably start arriving and all. And I know, yes, we would be saying that, oh, if we had signed a player now, at least look at someone like Liverpool who have David Nunez already. You would say that he's going to start preseason with them. Haaland will start preseason with Manchester City, but there's no new player that will be starting preseason with Manchester United. Well, that's the reality, but I do know that Manchester United will still sign a player. I mean, this transfer window can't pass without them signing any player.
Only, are you sure? Hey.
Come on now.
Hey.
They've had about 5 or 6 players who have left. So there definitely needs to be replacements, So it's just that it might not come to the fans' expectations, but their signings will eventually be made. Who it is, we don't know. So I think people just need to relax their nerves and not get too excited, and probably try to, not dwell on the fact that Liverpool has signed this player, Man City have signed this player. Because remember, Manchester United is not in any race with those two. Manchester United's race is entirely different from any other side in the top 6. So I feel they should just focus and just try to be hopeful that whatever they sign this time around, it will click, no matter how long it takes, because the most important thing is to buy right. You can see Saokwe here saying that he's not really too pleased with the players Arsenal have bought. They are prospects, but they are not, like proven quality yet. You understand? So he's someone who wants a proven quality, and I'm sure that is what Manchester United wants. Manchester United wouldn't want to go and sign someone in the Championship, or someone from, say, Crystal Palace or from Brentford or something. You want to go for proven quality, because the club really needs to get back up and running as quickly as possible. So I think there just needs to be more patience, and let's see how things unfold between now and the start of the season. And not forgetting that the transfer window closes on, is it August 31st now, or is it September 1? So I think there's still enough time. Yeah, there's still enough time.
All right, thank you so much, Kunle. That's your opinion. That's the show. Straight up, please, if you are watching this anywhere you are, please smash a like on the video before I call on Ope Adebari. Ope is an Arsenal fan, is happy. I could see him in town, trying to do so many things. After they are all happy. Now, straight to you, Ope, what's going on? What is your opinion on this topic? Why is Manchester United struggling in this transfer market? Go for it, bro.
So I think well said, first of all, by Kunle, but then I think United issues are deep rooted. So first of all, I would even start from the Fergie leaving, and I think I have this weird theory that Ferguson left, and Ferguson had or has an agenda to make United always indebted to him. It's a weird agenda I have, but it's something that I see coming into fruition, because I think about it, him leaving and Ferguson knowing the best of the best in the business at that point in time, the Mourinhos, the Benitez, the Guardiolas, the Luis Enrique at that point in time, Ferguson could have called and asked any one of them to become his successor, and then Ferguson goes ahead to say his grandson, someone I can even call his grandson or his son in David Moyes, someone who's never won a trophy. in a major trophy in his life. Even for Everton, he had never won a major trophy. And someone coming into the seat to hold a position so high up in world football, because I do hold Manchester United in such high regard. Manchester United is one of the most prestigious clubs in the history of world football. That's just a fact. So him coming in, I believe, had to be the problem of the club, because then it seemed to be a downward spiral. Under Ole, I was absolutely gutted, and I was sad at the fact that United has come to be the club that it is under Ole, because everyone was so accustomed to United being in the Champions League season in, season out, but not just being in the Champions League, but then competing at the highest level. Manchester United was a beacon of hope for English football in the Champions League, irrespective of what was going on with the likes of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and whatnot. But then United dipped so low that United would be succumbed to defeat at home to the likes of Crystal Palace, to the likes of Fulham. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So now we now come to today's present reality. It's a really, really bad time for United. I believe that first of all, this is the wrong time for a new coach to be coming in. And I think Ralf Rangnick also kind of put United in a bad place. I say this because their prior agreement was that he would, even if he's not going to be the coach long term, he would continue in an advisory position. But then his country, Austria, came calling, and because of obviously what he has experienced, Rangnick didn't think twice, and then he left. Another issue for United has to be the American owners, irrespective of the amount of money that they've pumped in. But then at the end of the day, we're still talking about European football. And really, they don't really understand what it's all about. Just take a look at Ed Woodward and all he did there during his time. Ed Woodward is a major reason why the likes of Mourinho and Van Gaal could not continue to stay there, because he would not give them the leeway to sign the exact players that they asked for. He will end up signing for them below par players. Listen to the names that Kunle mentioned, the likes of Morgan Schneiderlin, Maran Fellaini. Look, all these players, with all due respect to them, they are not of Manchester United caliber. That's just the truth, plain fact. And then United at the point in time became a dumping ground for 30-plus players, the likes of Schweinsteiger, the likes of Victor Valdez, and whatnot. So the fact that Ed Woodward does not give the freelance to the managers to sign the type of players that they want is a problem to them. It's a huge problem. Now Erik ten Hag has come in. He's a new coach. He wants to implement his own philosophy. He needs money to bring in certain players. Now the club is in a position whereby they don't want to spend so much, because spending so much has not yielded the right results. Meanwhile, they just spent money in the wrong way. That's just the fact. And now you will not put a new manager, you will then tie his legs and tell him that you can't spend that amount of money because in the previous times it hasn't worked. It's not going to work that way. This is a new manager. You need to give him that time. He needs time to implement his philosophy. And if he's telling you that he needs certain players, you need to go over and beyond to sign those certain players. Why is it that today in 2022, Manchester United is struggling with Crystal Palace to sign a player? Where is that head of? It is almost on... It's very, very hard to fathom it. Just imagine, Frenkie de Jong is using Manchester United to front for Barcelona. It is almost unheard of. With all due respect to Frenkie de Jong, who is he compared to the great players who have played for United? Making a ridicule of the club in public. It's worrisome. As a football fan, it's worrisome that I've seen such a great club go down this way. And for someone like Pogba to just be so adamant and say he's not staying, he's leaving, it says a lot. I'm not saying other parties don't have a part in the blame. They do have a part in the blame, but then again, the club has become rotten to the core. So there needs to be a lot of systematic change. Yes, new players do need to come in. It's good that they've offloaded certain players, so the wage bill has been cleared and they can bring in good players. However, which top-class player in world football today would want to come to Manchester United? That's what the thing. They're not playing Champions League football. And then you're going to be coming under a new coach. There's going to be a lot of restructuring. It's going to take time for certain players to adapt. There's no doubt about that. So who are the players that are going to have patience? Who are the players that are going to key into the vision of Erik ten Hag? The truth is that it will only be the first class of players will be players who have played under him. And so we're talking about the likes of Frankie, we're talking about the likes of Anthony as well. But then even Julian Timber as well. But with all due respect to those players, number one, you will be skeptical about them because they're not proven Premier League quality. And even on paper, compared to some players currently at United, compared to other targets that United can acquire, these players don't match up. I said, go look at Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong is not the answer to Manchester United's midfield problems. United need a world-class defensive midfielder. Where was United when Spurs was going after Bissouma? Where was United when Juventus signed Zakaria in January? I think about these things, and I'm saying to myself, what is the scouting system of United doing? Look at Manchester City about to swoop Calvin Phillips. So what's United looking at? It's worrisome. It's worrisome, really. And just before the show, I told you that I really doubt if United sign players in this transfer window. I said it jokingly, but it might just become reality because there are a lot of factors to consider. Anthony is no better than Rafinha currently. And to come into the Premier League, Anthony lacks upper body strength. How fast is he going to adapt? And then you bring in an Anthony into the club, but then you still got the likes of Amad Diallo in the ranks. You've got the likes of Fasundo Pelistri through the ranks, and then you've got the established Rashford and Sancho. So what is the major difference between them and probably the likes of Daniel James who have left? So it seems like United is going through a cycle. And then you have the X factor in Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo is at an age whereby he needs to be equipped to perform optimally. I give him his props. He did fantastically well on his own, carrying United on his back. But despite the 20+ goals, we saw how far that could just take United. United need more than Ronaldo. They need other enabling factors so that Ronaldo can even perform better and probably not even utilize him so much so that you can save him for the important games. As a football fan, sincerely speaking, I'm afraid for Manchester United.
It is what it is. Guys, thank you so much, Okbe. You've said a lot, and please smash a like on the video. If you're watching us anywhere you're watching us, please let's go up on this like, smash it. And now, thank you, Okbe. I'm going straight to Tuchel, Professor Tuchel, all the way from Lagos. He's a Chelsea fan to the core. I know he's going to banter us, but before you banter Man-U, I think, tell me something, Prof.
Yeah, I'm not here to banter people. Our club is also almost like in the same situation. We're not signing anybody, so I can understand. But the little I know about Man United and Kunle, knows better. I think there's a little problem. They've touched on it already. I think the fact that there's a change in the hierarchy in manager and things like that, and they do the leaving and all this, I think it has an effect on the way things are. Richard Arnold, the Man United CEO, came out the other day and spoke to the people in the pubs and told them that the money that Man United needs to spend this summer is there. So for me, when he says things like that, I'm wondering, is he trying to throw the manager under the bus? When you say the money is there and signings are not coming in. So I still don't understand what is going on. Yeah, right there. I heard that it's 120 million that that's available to Man United to spend. And if you're talking about the signing of De Jong, which we expect to be as much as 60 to 70 million, so we're expecting maybe 2 or 3 players from Man United. They've been all over the place talking about this raiding Ajax, and they've been acting very slow. So far, so good. Now Ajax have sold almost half of their players, and they've added serious money to the likes of Anthony and Timber. The Man United they've been in for already. They've lost Hala, they've lost Granovich to Bayern. So for me, it's just a whole messy issue. I don't know the full details of what is going on, but I think it's really messy, and I think Man United need to act as the big club that they are. Not finishing in the top in the Champions League spot maybe also has an effect in the way they have to convince players to come to the club. But so far, the little I know, I don't know. I just feel like a little bit more can be done from the board, maybe from the manager, and those people who are in charge of the transfers in Man United. Yeah, that's the little I know.
All right, thank you so much, Prof. We are in the same circle. I mean, Chelsea also, they have not signed anybody. Please, what are you waiting for? Please smash the like on the video. Let's do this once again. I'm going straight to Irate. Irate, all the way from New Jersey. I know Irate is a Liverpool fan, definitely, and you have to calm down on Man U. You have to calm down. So tell me something, bro. What's going on? Why are we struggling? Why is Manchester United struggling?
Yes, I mean, this kind of position Man United are right now is not alien to the club I support, Liverpool. We've been in this position before. And for me, like Kunle said a lot of things, Okpe also said a lot of reasons, and Tuchel. And I see the major reason why Man United are struggling to attract players. I mean, the players they're even trying to attract are not like world class players, but they are players with potential. Is because they are not in the Champions League. For me, that is the major reason. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was there last season, and they were in the Champions League. They were able to bring in Varane, Sancho, Ronaldo. They didn't have to go out all the way to try to even like convince players to join United. I mean, Varane was like, okay, Ramos left, and he also left Real Madrid. He wanted to come to Man United, so it was kind of easy for these players to make the decision to come over. So the fact that Man United just had their worst Premier League campaign in history has contributed to the reason why they've not been able to attract players. So also we're talking about the new CEO who know how. Of course, I think he has been at Man United for some time. I think he was promoted to that position, and he came out and said they've spent £1 billion in the last decade, which is a whole lot of money. To be honest, a whole lot of money. So you're right. United right now are being cautious into being into the kind of position they've been before when they've overpaid for players, bringing in the likes of Schweinsteiger and many names. So many names in the last couple of years. And when they called on players like Darwin Nunes, they weren't ready to even go into a transfer battle with Liverpool because they knew they were always going to lose that battle. So they just dropped off. And then the same thing with De Jong. If Man United were in the Champions League right now, I think De Jong will be having a second thought of him coming to Man United. But instead now, Barcelona are saying Man United need to pay, I think, at least 70 million euros to get Frankie De Jong. And to be honest, I don't think Frankie De Jong himself is keen on coming to Man United. But if you're ready to overpay, then definitely he's also willing to come. Also, Christian Eriksen. I feel like Christian Eriksen is just holding on to see if he can get something better, like maybe Tottenham trying to come for him, trying to sign him instead of coming to Man United, which would not have been that way if Man United were in the Champions League.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, we've also been in this position before, and it was a very difficult position for a team that has been an elite team in Europe for many years, and one of the best teams in world football. So, for me, that is the major reason why Man United are unable to sign, are struggling to sign players. Also, we also have to talk about their scouting system. Who is the sporting director? Who are the scouts? Who are in charge of bringing these players? Who are in charge of, okay, let's see, does this player fit our model? How much does Ten Hag have in decision-making process when it comes to signing players? I always tell people, I said, when it comes to Liverpool, I know Klopp has the final say. And since Klopp came in, we had this infamous transfer committee we had under Rogers, where Rogers was saying, "Oh, I didn't know about the likes of signing the likes of Moreno, Sacco, and some other players," and the transfer committee were making decisions for him. When Klopp came in, he said, "Okay, I'm going to bring in players that I want," and he started working with Michael Edwards. So they can go sign scout players and do a lot of things, bring in the data, the statistics, club still has the final say on players coming in. And I think Eric Ten Hag should also be allowed to do the same if they want this club to be back where it was. So, but for now, the best situation, the best solution for Man United is for them to bring in, I think, local players from the EPL. And, like many of us have been surprised. Bissouma going to Tottenham for that amount. I really don't know what's going on, how Man United let him slip through their fingers, because for me, that is a very, very good price for a good player. So, who are those in charge of these transfers? Why are they not talking to the players enough? Is it that they don't want to overpay? So many questions to be asked. But coming from what Richard Arnold said, Man United are being cautious right now, throwing money around because they've been in that position too many times. And I'll mention Paul Pogba. For me, Paul Pogba moving to Man United has to be ranked amongst, if not the number one worst decision Man United have ever made. Twice. Not just once, twice. They bought him from France, let him go for free. Then they brought him back for close to 90 million pounds and let him leave again for free. So, I mean, it's ridiculous to spend that amount of money.
Yeah.
Really damaging. So, they need to get their acts right, to be honest. They need to get their acts right. There are players who have left, likes of Matic, Mata. So there are spaces in midfield that need to be filled. Also, the likes of Julian Timber and Gravenbach that were mentioned, these are young players who feel like they going to get enough game time if they come to Man United. Someone like Timber, I think Eric Ten Hag should be convincing him, hey, you played under me last season, and I gave you the game time you wanted. So you will get that game time at Man United. I don't think he's doing that, and that's why Timber doesn't want to come. It's a World Cup year. Many players, we see Sterling wants to leave Man City, and that's why I'm surprised Phillips is going to Man City. So because I don't think he's going to start over there. So also factoring in the World Cup, many of these players are being cautious about making moves right now. So what they need to do is talk to, if have a list of like 2, 3, 5 players, just like we did under Klopp when he came in. When we tried Mario Götze, didn't work. We tried Alex Teixeira, he went to China. Then Klopp went for Mane. So it's the same thing with Robertson. I forgot the player we wanted to sign. I forgot his name, and then he wouldn't come in. Then we got Robertson. So just have like a list of very good players that you have scouted. That's why I said the scouting system at this time has to be on point. They have to be very good. They have to earn their money right now to get Man United back to where the club has been. So that's my own opinion.
All right, thank you so much. Irate, thank you so much. I have in the building right now Robbie, all the way from Ilefe, Nigeria, very close to KBS's Palace. Robbie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, fantastic. You're a Manchester United fan, and I'm sure you'll be so sad, so angry, so bad. Feeling so terrible right now because Manchester United, we've not made any single signing, even from Championship. We can't do it. We're struggling. So, from your own point of view, what do you think? What's your opinion is the show? What do you think? What's going on?
Good evening, everyone. My take on the topic at hand isn't much. First and foremost, I'm not angry at the fact that United have not been able to make any signing. I am not actually disappointed either. As a United fan, I think the most disappointing part of being a fan was the period when Sir Alex Ferguson had to.
I think I lost him. I think so. I think I lost him there. Robbie, I think I lost him. It's being the internet there is so crazy right now. Well, let's move on to the show. I'm going straight to Cup for Life in the building. Cup for Life. Is a Liverpool fan, no doubt about it. It's gonna tell us all it takes. Also why we're struggling as a Manchester United fan, considering the fact that we are talking about rebuilding in Manchester United. Is this way? Is this how we're supposed to be rebuilding? There's so much things. I mean, new coach coming in, Eric Ten Hag. I'm sure he's going to be very disappointed in this process. So far, so good. But I want to hear from your Cup for Life. Why do you think Manchester United is struggling in this transfer market? You're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
This is interesting. I am in this interesting position to talk about Manchester United as a Liverpool fan. However, let's try to be fair and not biased. So I think the first thing for me to actually point out, and I think, everyone have made some really incredible points around this. And I think there's a really, really important point that Irate made at the beginning where he said, this is not new. Liverpool have been through exactly what Manchester United are going through today, right? So this is not new. And in life, when there is a blueprint of how you get out of that situation, go and look at it. Because in reality, nothing is new under the sun. Everything going on with Manchester United, you could attribute to the time that Liverpool won their last league title. And then all of a sudden, 1991, 92 came, and all of a sudden, Liverpool were all over the place for 30 years. Yeah. If Manchester United are not careful, this is the beginning of another 30 years. I believe it's already been 10. But let's go into some facts or some detail around my point. Some details that I have are, let's do some details here. Competition. Reality of it is this: Manchester United are not in the top 4. Because Manchester United are not in the top 4, it makes a massive difference on the type of players they can attract. I think a few of my colleagues have already kind of gone through that, and there's no point in overanalyzing that, because when you are not in the Champions League, it kind of tells what kind of player you can attract. Big major impact on Manchester United's approach and the kind of players that they can bring in. The other thing right now is the reputation of the club. I think the board have a reputation. The fans have a reputation. The board and the fans now, everybody knows that there's a lack of unity between the board and the fans. The fans are constantly protesting nowadays. They're protesting at the beginning of big games against the board, saying they want them to leave their club. Well, again, bad optics generally when people are thinking, oh, I want to join a club, and they think, this club looks slightly unstable from that perspective. It's a massive factor in attracting the right kind of players. Reputation of the existing players in the squad. Let's be frank. There are some players that are big name players that Manchester United have, and one has left in Paul Pogba. The reality of it is any player coming into Manchester United is probably thinking, take for example Eriksen, he's thinking, you want to sign me. Where is Fernandes going to play? Am I not playing the same position as Bruno Fernandes? What is the game plan behind that? He's thinking about that, and he's thinking, this doesn't make any sense. Then you've got someone like Ronaldo who sucks, and Bruno Fernandes' attitude is also terrible. They think they're better than everybody else. When you think about this type of situation, and you think about someone like Paul Pogba, you start to think, why would I want to go and play with this lazy guy? Let's be honest, he's on the pitch. So there's a real problem there in terms of reputation from a player perspective. Another aspect you need to think about very, very quickly as well is the reputation of the incoming manager in Erik Ten Hag. Erik Ten Hag has managed Ajax. Before that, Utrecht. Before that, he's managed B teams, basically. Let's think about where Ajax are in the grand scale of things in terms of the top 4-5 leagues in Europe, I think that this job is too big for Erik ten Hag. I wish him all the best. But the bottom line here is that Liverpool went through exactly the same thing, hiring managers that we should not hire for seasons after seasons after seasons. And then the reality of it is this: Liverpool eventually had to go for a guy who had an experience of winning a league, a league that is maybe one of the top 4 leagues in Europe. You got to find the right manager for the job as well. I don't know that Erik ten Hag is the right manager for Manchester United at this point. Manchester United have gone through also, another key point to me is the type of managers that you've been going through at Manchester United kind of worries me as well. And that's, again, you think about it, Van Gaal is the kind of guy that intimidates and tries to push you into a corner. He's not the kind of manager that you want to think, oh, I want to play for this guy. Then you've gone for Mourinho. Mourinho is also an antagonist. He's not the kind of manager that players that think, oh yeah, Mourinho, yes. He doesn't have the same attraction as a Pep or a Klopp that people think, oh, I really like that guy. I want to go and work underneath that guy. Then you had Moyes. Well, Moyes is Moyes. And then you've got Solskjaer, who should never have been even somebody that is good enough to be your under 16s manager, in my own opinion. He relegated Cardiff. What is he doing managing one of the biggest clubs in the world? Makes no sense to me. Let's not even discuss Ralph Ragnick. That's ridiculous as well. So those are some of the key problems. And you think about it as well, your scouting department, and I think I already touched on this, your scouting department at Manchester United is just not good enough. It's just not good enough. You cannot be getting into conversations and thinking that you have some clubs have been talking to that same player for a year and a half. They've been talking to that player and his agent for a year and a half. You then come in and you think you can just come in and pull your weight through it. It doesn't work like that. I want to be respectful of the time here and just say that the current state of affairs at Manchester United is the type that requires only one fix. The only type of players that Manchester, if you think about it, a top tier player right now will only come to Manchester United for the money. Not because of the manager, because the manager himself has not worked with any top player yet in his career. None. He's managed players with potential, but he has not managed any player that is of the highest caliber. So the manager is going to be, that kind of player is going to be taking a gamble, which means that player is going to be the type of player that is in it for money. Money. That's the worst type of player Manchester United need. What you need right now, and I don't know why Manchester United think they're above what Liverpool did, in the sense that the solution to this is to look within the Premier League.
God bless you.
Manchester United are not above that. Manchester United, Liverpool went and signed Van Dijk from Southampton. Let's be honest. Southampton. Liverpool signed Lallana from Southampton. Liverpool signed, what's his boy's name?
Milner.
Southampton. Milner.
Wijnaldum.
Wijnaldum came from Newcastle, all from within the league. The left back, Robertson, came from Hull City, right? Trent was from the academy. The reality of it is this: Liverpool's major key players, when you think about it, came from within the league. Manchester United are not, okay, yes, you can talk about Salah, who came from abroad, from Roma, but, aside from Salah, majority of what we did at Liverpool was from within the Premier League. Manchester United are not above that same approach. And this was a manager in Jurgen Klopp that had won 2 back-to-back Bundesliga and had worked with some quality players in his past. Yet, he realized that the best solution was to find players that understood the Premier League. Why is that something that Manchester United don't seem to understand? Because if they understood that, they would not be thinking about wingers from abroad. Makes no sense. When you have Rafinha, and also, they will not be thinking about midfield enforcers from abroad who are nice footballing Xabi Alonso type players that in reality you need somebody that's going to put their foot in, right? Xabi Alonso is a great player.
That's a great player. Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is that we didn't win the league with him. The point I'm trying to make is that there's those type of players that are so, you need something else to accompany them, and they are not the first person that you should bring into the door. Anyhow, I'll round up by saying this very quickly. $120 million or pounds today gets you only 2 quality world-class players. In fact, probably gets you 1 world-class player and 1 good player.
Yeah.
At that pace, Manchester United will not close the gap for another 5 years. So you need to go and start thinking about the Premier League as a starting point. And that's why you are not attracting the right players, because you are not thinking about the right approach in terms of how to close the gap on the top 4.
All right. That's a lovely one. Robbie, please, you want to conclude your statement before your
please,
light went off? All right, go on. Go on, please.
Let me quickly conclude. I would say that I love Cup for Life with every fiber of my person, because what he just said, Kole can bear witness to what I'm about to say, because on the Manchester United group, it was the same thing that I have advocated for the past weeks. Now, the thing is this: why is United not looking within the Premier League to solve its problem as of the moment? The thing is, if you're looking at, I don't like De Jong, to be sincere with you. He's a fine player, he's okay, he has flair, he has this and that. But the Premier League is a different kind of league. That is why we all love the Premier League. It is physical, it is fast-paced, and if you look at clubs like Southampton, like Newcastle, they have players within their rank that are business-minded. And right now, these are the kind of players that United need. Why is United not going for Ward-Prowse? Why is United not going for Broha? Why is United not going for I've forgotten this Southampton defender? Is from Denmark. Why are United not going for short players? But you are busy chasing. Last season we spent almost a whole year chasing one player in Sancho, and look at where he led us to. Today they will tell you an agreement has been reached. Tomorrow they will tell you the guy fell sick. Next tomorrow they will tell you, oh, the medical facility got burned. Then the day after they will tell you, oh, his agent said he's not coming again. One season we spent chasing one player. And personally also, the signing of Paul Pogba from Juventus back then, to me, was a very terrible deal. Baba let the guy go. Why was United chasing after him? We saw what he did at Juventus. Why? Because he had players there who would call him to order, who would scream at him, who would shout at him. When he came to United, he was more or less like the Alpha and the Omega. Hence why Mourinho allegedly or famously called him a virus. So if United will toe this same line of going abroad to look for players, I am so sorry. As a fan that loves the game with every fiber of my being, I really don't think I'll be rooting for United this season. Like I said, I'll quietly pitch my tent either with Liverpool, or I'll go to the noisy side of town and sit down quietly with Man City. So when United decide that it is time for them to come out of this folly, probably I would come back. But at this point in time, I think my mental health, first and foremost. Secondly, the love for the game, the ability to sit down and enjoy a proper match where you see players string passes together, where you see the intelligence of the coach in reading the game and trying to get very valuable points from a game, which is what practically makes us love football. Until I practically see that happening at United, I think I'd rather just go in either directions of these things just to enjoy myself this season. Thank you very much.
All right, fantastic. That's been a very fantastic insight from Robbie. Okwe, do you want to say anything, or everybody, before we wrap up the show? Is anybody wants to say something about what we are talking about? Is your opinion?
I would like to
comment. Oh, sorry, I'll go after. Apologies.
Go. Okay. All right.
Okay. Does Kunle want to go first?
No.
Yes, I wouldn't mind, please. I just want to reply to what Robert said. Yes. And this is where me and Robert used to always fight. And where I also fight with people.
Don't bring your Man-U fight.
Nobody.
It's not that it's a 5%, but here's the thing I just want to say generally. You see, yes, I know it is frustrating that Manchester United isn't where they are, but I seem not to like the attitude of fans where they are like, oh, because the team is not doing very well, yeah, they are not going to be, they're not going to be rooting, they're going to be supporting our rivals and all of that. And I feel that that is not really the best kind of attitude because, and this is where I think I would respect Liverpool fans because you see, anyone I know that is a Liverpool fan, I will know that whoever is a Liverpool fan is someone who has been with the club since the 90s, since probably the 90s, because or 80s, as the case may be. And one thing I like about these Liverpool fans is that they never went anywhere. They never said they were fond of what this team is doing. Like all through the time when Manchester United were dominating, I never saw a Liverpool fan like fine, they might admire the dominance, but you wouldn't hear them like, oh wow, we want to, I think I'm going to be supporting Manchester United now. I like what they're doing. They stuck with their team, and that is how it should be, regardless of how bad the team is. And the thing is, Manchester United fans sometimes make very, 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 very ridiculous comments that I think even put the club in further trouble because you see the media will now come out, magnify it, and that is why you see the club is always going to be in the news for the wrong reasons. And the more this happens, I think it is even going to be more of a problem for the manager because you see the kind of questions they ask in press conferences. You see how leaks are coming in here and there. So I feel there should, regardless of the struggle, let there still be a sense of unity, you understand, among the fans, because Liverpool fans have been united all these years till they got their moment right. And I think that is
years
what
in the jungle.
I don't actually believe, I personally actually don't believe Manchester United is going to take, it will take 30 years for Manchester United. I do not, I personally do not
never.
Yeah.
The same way we didn't believe. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I just want a better sense of unity, regardless of what happens. That's just what I want to say. So Robert should quit this and he's going to the other side of
his mental
what is mental?
He said his mental health now.
So when someone like Irate or when someone like Cop for Life was waiting, was his mental health, was their mental health too not?
We have to ask him.
Was waiting for how long? Was waiting for how long? In the time when he was waiting. In the time when he was waiting, was Liverpool not winning titles and were they not playing very good football?
So hang on here. Hang on, guys. Let's qualify that statement by saying that my first game that I remember watching of Liverpool was 1985. So to say that from 1991 to the next 30 years that we didn't win the Premier, that we were playing beautiful football, I disagree with that. I would say that honestly, for the majority of that time, Liverpool were. There was a time they called Liverpool the Spice Boys. There was a time we turned up for the FA Cup final in white suits. The days of Phil Babb, Stig Inga Bionobi, David Thompson, Kavame. Those days where we were literally, honestly, you know what? Each person will make their own call, whether or not they switch alliances from one team to another. But what I can tell you is this, is that I have still got a lot of respect for Manchester United. However, I really think that the club is not on track yet to close the gap. There is a lot of work ahead of the club, and I just don't think that they even understand that there's a lot of work ahead of them. That's the scary part. Is that, you see, when you have a problem, the day you recognize you have a problem is the beginning of fixing that problem. I don't even think Manchester United recognize that there's a problem here, that we are not doing anything that is going to help us close that gap. Oh, by the way, one last real quick thing. I referenced Xabi Alonso earlier. Once in a while, you get a wonderful player like Xavi. wonderful player. But, you know, very often we partnered him in midfield with Steven Gerrard or with, Momo Sissoko, or we partnered him in midfield with Javier Mascherano. Those type of players, to me, would have done better in a midfield three. And that's why I said that. That's why I questioned whether or not he was the right person for us at the time, because he didn't make us close the gap. That's where I see people like Pogba, and I see, when you see the midfield that Manchester United put out now, McTominay, Fred. I'm just thinking, how on earth are Manchester United going to close that gap? McTominay and Fred are not good enough to lace the boots of Yves Bissouma. And it didn't occur to Manchester United that Yves Bissouma or even Calvin Phillips. I mean, surely start within the league. Where are you going for the fancy Xavi Alonso-ish type player in De Jong? What are you trying to achieve with that? Anyway, I wish them well.
Yeah, I'll say something real quick. I mean, we've said a lot about the problem, and it's important we also talk about the solution. And like I said, we've been in this situation before, Liverpool, and we had to get some things right, which we eventually did. And the first thing is make good transfer decisions, have a good scouting system. Very, very important. And I remember Klopp's first full season, we brought in Mane, we brought in Wijnaldum, we brought in Matip. All three were game changers for us. All three of them, right from the first season, were game changers. Secondly, Eric Ten Hag. How good, I know he's worked with players with potential and young players. How good is he at developing players? If you look at Klopp has rarely signed a world-class player. Instead, he has brought in players with potential and made them world-class. Van Dijk was not world-class at Southampton. What he had was potential. Jurgen Klopp made him world-class. He made him even a better player. Also, talking of tactics, he realized, okay, Benteke is not working for me. He took Firmino, who Rogers didn't even know where to play him. Played him on the right, played him on the left, everywhere. He made him a false nine. Right from the first game against Man City, we all knew this is definitely going to work. Right from the first game. Adam Lallana took him away from the wing, made him a central midfielder in a midfield three. So is Ten Hag able to develop this? You can't get world-class players not being in Champions League, except you have to throw money around, which they don't want to do. So if you talk to De Jong and it's not coming, look inwards. Look for players within your league that you can also develop. It's now up to the scouts to say, okay, this player has potential, and then Ten Hag having the ability and capability to make him a better player, potentially a world-class player. If he can do that successfully, I think in 5 years, Man United should be able to challenge for the title. Should in 5 years. But let's also remember that, and I'll keep saying it. If Ten Hag doesn't make the Champions League in his first season, they might, give him a leeway and say, okay, he's still trying to integrate the players into the new system. But by the second season, if he is not in the Champions League, I think Ten Hag will be gone from Man United, which will damage his reputation. So
All right.
That's my opinion on that.
All right. Thank you so much, Irate. Because of our time, I'm just going to ask Ope to say something before we wrap up the show. All right, Ope, go ahead, please.
All right. So as we wrap up the show, I just want to point out the fact about signing certain players. Just like Cup for Life mentioned, the combination of players Liverpool had at the time when they had Xavi Alonso, it would have been best if they played the midfield three. You would have gotten the best out of them, But even irrespective of that, they had a manager who was adamant, and he believed so much in his own tactics. So he decided to play them the best way he felt he could combine them. I mean, there was a time under Benitez, Gerrard was playing as a right-sided midfielder, almost as a winger, But then at least that still got them an FA Cup trophy and the Champions League. And then I believe that's a major mistake that United made when bringing in Pogba, or rather when they brought in Pogba, pardon my English. So, bringing in Pogba, a major reason why he was successful at Juventus, not only the fact that he had a lot of senior players around him who could always curb his excesses. The truth is that Paul Pogba is naturally a central midfielder. Yes, he does have the abilities to be a defensive midfielder, but that is not who he is. That is not his preferred position. And this player has a lot of talent. So why not play this player in his preferred position and equip him and enable him with other players who allow him blossom? Why did he blossom at Juventus? First of all, there was a register in Andrea Pirlo who would always play deep. There was the box-to-box midfielder in Claudio Marchisio. At a point in time, the truth was that Pogba wasn't even always starting consistently because he still had to compete. He had to compete with the likes of Roberto Pereira, who then came, Dybala, who then came. The truth is that at Juventus, Pogba was always on his toes. And then he came into United. He felt like, exactly, he was just, he seemed like he was high and mighty. But then the truth is that even United as a football club and the coaching staff as well, they did not equip Pogba properly. Why did United never sign a solid defensive midfielder? They brought in Matic at a point in time where it seemed like Matic was having a dip in his career after having a career-threatening injury. And when he came back, Matic was never the same. McTominay cannot lace the boots of his Bissouma, as Cup for Life has said. Why did United not go for Bissouma? So I'll just round off by saying at the end of the day, United's problems are rooted deep in the core.
No doubt about it. Thank you, everybody that's contributed onto this show. I want to say big up to everybody. Quite thank you so much. I saw a question right now. I mean, it's not really a comment that says Alan, Philip, and Cucurella on the way. Somebody has already congratulating Manchester City of winning the Premier League title 2023. I'm sure Liverpool fan will not take this lightly, so be careful. Cup for Life is here. He's thinking they're still going to win the league.
Of course, that's coming from someone who knows his team as they are coming into this. They don't even have a sporting. They are just everywhere right now. They don't even know what they are doing. Their owner knows nothing about football, and right now they are not even looking to sign. They are not even trying to sign anybody. They are just there. Instead, they've lost players. So I mean, that's what you expect. I
think. So, you know what? The Don. Let's quickly say we don't know how Liverpool or Manchester City will cope with the idea of an out-and-out number 9. I think that will impact their styles of play slightly. So it's left to be seen whether or not it impacts both teams for better or for worse. I think that Liverpool probably have a better chance of adapting to that style, more so than Manchester City. I am intrigued whether or not that will mean that they're all trying to feed him, that is Haaland, and then that means that if you get a really solid defender, and don't forget, Haaland has been playing against defenders, but he has not been playing against proper center halves. When he then plays against proper center halves, he's either going to blast them away or they will figure him out. I don't know. But what I do know is that the Premier League this season, how quickly both Liverpool and Man City adapt to playing with a number 9 will impact the outcome of where the Premier League title goes.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to sign you out, Robbie. Thank you so much, Robbie. My regards to the same KBS we're talking about. Thank you so much. Kunle, thank you so much for coming to the show. I really appreciate your presence in this moment. This moment. Thank you, Kunle. And also, Irate, New Jersey, brother, what's going on? Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Oh, all right. Kokwe, One Love, what's going on? Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure, Don. All
right, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Cup for Life, what's going on? Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Please subscribe to the channel. You know what we're doing. We are growing. It's all about us. It's all about community. Please subscribe. Also, smash the like on the video. Please help us share the video to viewers. This is where it's happening. It's happening. It's talking about everything. It's all about sport on this channel. As I've said, please subscribe. And so many things will be going into before the league starts. I'm talking about Premiership League. We're looking at the fantasy, coming up with an idea. This league is going to be massive, loaded of shows coming up on this channel. It is where it's going to happen. Thank you once again. Thank you all our viewers. Thank you. Big up to all my friends, all our friends wherever they are right now. Thank you. This is going to be the end of the show. I thank everybody. We are so grateful. On this note, I'm going to sign out. Same time next week. It's going all our show is what it means. Call what's your opinion? That's the show. Please, anytime, drop your comment. We're going to read them. We'll be getting some calling show. Will be soon coming up. Thank you, everybody. Same time next week. I'm your main man, the host. You call me the Don of Sport Entertainment. One love, everybody. Enjoy all your weekend. Bye for now.